If you've ever done cold outreach, you know how tough it is to boost open rates and get real replies. You also know how hard it is to personalize emails, especially when you're trying to do it at scale. This automated system scrapes real prospect data and generates thousands of personalized cold emails in minutes. It helps you reach more leads faster so you can book more calls and close more deals with your business. With this automation, you spend less time writing copy and more time running your business. On screen, you can see the results from the automation I ran. Notice how it pulls highly personalized data. For example, here we're reaching out based on an Instagram page, capturing their follower count, the number of ads they're running, and even the breakdown between video ads and static ads. And this isn't just for 1 or 2 contacts. We can customize thousands of emails this way. On my sheet, you'll see over 2,000 fully personalized emails, all built from the data we scraped. Now, let's run the automation so you can see exactly how it works. Here, I'll use 4 sample leads. What you should expect is a set of highly personalized emails generated instantly. Step 1, the system pulls data directly from each prospect's website, capturing their Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok details. Step 2, it organizes everything into clear steps for processing. This system runs automatically in the background, every single day, while you focus on your most important work. We schedule it to run at 2 a.m. and again at 4 a.m., so by the time morning comes, all the emails are ready to send. And to prove this works in the real world, I'll walk you through a case study of how we use this exact setup for one of our clients, a Meta Ads agency. As you can see, within minutes, the system starts generating fully personalized emails. For example, here it's pulling the first name, Hi Mark, along with brand details like their Instagram page. It also grabs follower count, 30,000 in this case, which we can quickly confirm is accurate. Then it identifies how many ads are currently running. Here we see 3 active ads, which checks out when we open it. The system even breaks down static versus video ads, pulls competitor Facebook pages, and uses all of that to craft a highly personalized email. This email, for example, says, I noticed most of your current ads are static. Best practice shows a stronger video to static ratio usually drives better results. For example, there's a brand in your niche doing this and it's working well for them. That insight alone makes the email feel researched and relevant. And this isn't limited to one prospect. The system automatically does this for thousands of brands, confirming ad details and tailoring each message. That's how this brand was able to send more than 2,000 highly personalized emails without lifting a finger. Let's break down how this works. I'm going to show you how you can send thousands of personalized cold emails in just minutes. I've included a case study in this video so you can see proof that it actually works. Now, you've probably heard people say cold email is the way to go. Maybe you've seen YouTube guys claiming they booked 50,000 meetings or closed $5 million in deals. But notice, they rarely show you exactly how to do it. And when most people try, they run into the same problems. The biggest? Reply rates are painfully low, often less than 1%. Why? Because the emails are generic. A typical cold email might look like, Hi, first name, I wanted to reach out. You've seen it before, and so has your prospect. That's why it gets ignored. That means your reply rates stay low, your domains get burned, your emails get flagged as spam, and all your effort goes to waste. The result? Fewer booked calls, fewer sales, and less revenue. Exactly the opposite of what every business owner wants. You're trying to maximize ROI on both your money and your time. That's why we built this automation, to solve one of the biggest problems holding businesses back from scaling cold outreach. So what's the old way of doing outreach? You send one generic message, blasting it to 1,000 leads. It usually looks like, Hi, first name, I help companies like yours grow with my service. That's not personalization. At best, you swap in their name or company, then spend the rest of the email talking about yourself. You ignore anything that they do, where they work, what they've been posting about, what they've been engaging on. Every email ends up sounding the same, and prospects hate this. Some try to improve this with GPT, but even then, you waste hours generating just 100 emails. And worse, the data is often inaccurate. The result? Slow, inefficient, and robotic outreach. Meanwhile, your competition is automating this. Their systems are faster, smarter, and producing better copy. That's why they're booking calls while you're still writing templates. The new way is different. Automated systems collect signals and data points, like LinkedIn activity, job posts, ad campaigns, or funding rounds, without you lifting a finger. Then AI transforms that data into custom sentences that speak directly to what each lead is doing. It feels researched, relevant, and impossible to ignore. And that's the shift. Outreach that used to take hours now happens in minutes, with better accuracy and stronger personalization than you could ever do manually. AI takes those signals and turns them into personalized sentences that connect with what the lead is actually doing. And I know this works, because I've experienced it myself. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I get a generic email, I ignore it instantly. But just this week, I received a cold email so personalized I couldn't help but reply. It started with, "Hi Kitaflow, my YouTube channel name." They mentioned they had just come across my channel, noted I focus on AI content, and even referenced my number of views right in the subject line. Well, I ended up replying almost immediately with, "Interested, let's chat." If an email lacks context about me, I delete it. But when it's personalized, I respond. And yes, side note, I definitely deserve way more subscribers. So if you're watching this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful. Back to the point, this is exactly what our automation does. It pulls signals like LinkedIn job posts or brand activity, then builds super personalized copy that feels as though you wrote it yourself. Here's how these emails are structured. First, the system pulls one data point. Then it adds a second, then a third, then a fourth. With that context, it creates a tailored recommendation, and finally, delivers your offer. Now put yourself in the shoes of a brand owner running ads. When they read an email like this, they immediately see the sender has done their homework. If the subject line says, "Here's how you can scale beyond 300 ads," or "This is how to grow your Instagram past 30,820 followers," they know it's specific and real. From their perspective, that level of detail signals credibility. It feels researched. Meanwhile, AI is doing all the heavy lifting for you. It pulls the signals, builds the personalization, and writes the copy, often better than if you tried to do it yourself. The result? You hit run before bed, and while you sleep, the system sends out 2,000 personalized emails. By the time you wake up, your inbox is filled with demos, calls, and intros from prospects genuinely interested in your work. Instead of spending your day writing copy, you spend it talking to buyers. Because the goal isn't to be the best copywriter, it's to grow your business. Let the system do the writing while you focus on closing. That's why outreach stops feeling like work and starts becoming your deal flow. With minimal effort, you're generating opportunities, just like the case study I'll show you, where a digital marketing agency went from 0 to 500 emails a day in under 2 weeks. Take a look at what they achieved. In just 4 days, they had already sent over 2,000 emails. This proves the system doesn't just work, it scales fast. So what's the background? They're a social media marketing agency running Meta ads, and they wanted to reach more qualified prospects. Most of those prospects had websites and often posted data about themselves on Twitter or LinkedIn. The opportunity was clear. They needed to reach out in a way that felt personal. Ads were an option, but too slow and expensive. Manually researching each brand was also unrealistic. Instead, they turned to Apollo to pull leads. Apollo gave them valuable data, like websites, LinkedIn profiles, and first names. That was the foundation. From there, the automation analyzed each prospect's site using a tool like Apify. It pulled details such as their Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, ads library URL, video to static ad ratio, and even competitor data. All of this was done automatically. Then the system generated custom email copy that referenced these exact data points, making every email unique and highly relevant. As you saw earlier, each email is unique, referencing real data so nothing feels copy-pasted. Finally, the system exports 500 emails per day. The results? They went from 0 to 500 emails per day, targeting exactly the right prospects. In just 4 days, over 2,000 emails were sent. Reply rates jumped, deals increased, and revenue followed, all while freeing up time to focus on actual client work. So the big question is, how can you use a system like this for yourself? Whether you're an agency owner, a lead gen company, a B2B sales team, or a corporate growth manager, this can be customized for your use case. The process is simple. Change the inputs. Maybe you need LinkedIn founder data, CEO activity, Twitter posts, website product listings, or even venture funding info. The system adapts, so your outreach is tailored to your market. At Kitaflow Automations, we've spent over 3 years building more than 200 automation systems for businesses. We've helped dozens of companies streamline processes, scale outreach, and generate revenue. Our focus is always the same: systems that save time, drive revenue, and let you achieve more with less effort. So if you're interested in getting a system like this built for your business, my contact details are below this video. Scroll down, reach out, and let's see how we can replicate this for you. And if you're an automation expert, an agency, or just someone excited to build this yourself, I'll also leave a template below. Keep in mind, the template won't have every API connected. That's intentional. You'll need to customize it based on your use case, just like we did for this company. Once you adapt it with the right inputs, it becomes a powerful engine for personalized outreach. And of course, if you'd rather skip the trial and error, you can always reach out. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.